Hey everyone, Richard Metal Fan here, bringing you guys another old school album review. I'm gonna finish up this band's discography because their new album comes out in a few weeks. But yeah, as you can see, the title today we're gonna be looking into Deceiver of the Gods by Amon, Amarth, the band's 9th album released in 2013. Now, kind of kicking myself for not reviewing this when it first came out, but hey, better late than never, am I right? So let's just dive right into this. This album is kind of like typical like the Amon Amarth, but they also have like a couple different stuff. Like one of the tracks kind of has like a little bit of a different feel to it. The production wise, I will say this: the production on this album is different compared to previous Amon Amarth albums because they also have Amon Amarth albums tend to have like the most gritty kind of like sounding production, dirty sounding, but this album actually has a lot more of a cleaner sound to it, which is kind of surprising. Yeah, the vocals, Amon Amarth's vocals are just really great. Like Johan Haig can do no wrong with like his death grunts and just growls that he does, and sort of like the high screams that he does. And guitar wise, Olavi V and Johan Soderberg's guitar playing is just great guitar tones throughout. The bass playing from Ted Lundstrom, I kind of wish could have stuck out a little bit more. And obviously, drumming-wise, this is sadly the last album with their longtime drummer, Fredrik Andersson, because in 2015 he left the band, but I just think he's a really good drummer on this. He does a good job on this album in particular. So yeah, without further ado, let's dive into this album track by track. Now, opening up is the title track of the album, Deceiver of the Gods, which is everything that you could hope for this band. The tasty dual lead guitars, Johan Haig's death growls, and Fredrik's insanely tight and technical drumming. And I feel like Fredrik gives a standout performance on this album. His precision and speed is only matched by the few, and he does more than merely keep the band together. Puts on his own show and is everything you could hope for this band. The tasty dual lead guitars and Johan is just, oh, wow. Oh, like, this is a great way to start this album. It starts off with it starts off kind of slow with the leads and stuff, and then just boom, kicks you right in the face. Great way to start off this album. Then we go into As Loki Falls, which is immediately identifiable because of the loop tapping motif that transfers into the triple field of the bass drum. And it's like one of the most album's driven tracks on here. Father of the Wolf, which is another pretty good song. I actually like it. Shapeshifter, which features a sickeningly heavy groove throughout the song. Again, this material isn't exactly new, but Amon Amarth knows how to craft an effective like melodic death metal song without succumbing to like the same drop D riff or the analogous kick drum pattern. Under Siege, which this song juxtaposes like thick straight time burst riffs with some harmonized upper register guitar leads before sieging and ascending bass riff into like the album's most effective climax. So it's actually one of the moments that you could actually hear Ted on the bass. Blood Eagle, which kind of starts off with like some poor guy getting his ribs broken from the back, having his lungs protruded from his body. This is a perfect example of sort of like the raw sounding Amon Amarth. We Shall Destroy, another good song. I dig it. Hell, which is just Hel, which opens up as a typical mid-paced Amon Amarth track for the first like minute and a half, but quickly becomes almost kind of like a moody classic metal song, which has like sung vocals from the former singer of Candlemass, Robert Lowe, I believe his name, or Messiah. I can never say that name. It is refreshing to see the band sort of like experimenting with something as foreign as like sung vocals, which I feel like Messiah's vocals kind of like meshes with like Johan's growls. And I feel like the initial shock of their appearance wears off, and I feel like this song is like one of the least interesting and engaging tracks, which is just I thought it was that's just me. But then picks back up with Coming From the Tide, which has fast guitars and drums and Johan's brilliant vocals, but these sort of like generic song structures are way too fun and catchy for complaints that end up being like one of the best songs on the entire album, and absolutely like brilliant warrior lyrics like the universe shall bleed and burn and waiting for my men to die, they sense the coming of the tide, to combine with sort of like the ruthless music, put sort of like middle-aged battle fighting for Loki or Thor, hoping to reach Valhalla one day. And then the album closes with the 8-minute epic Warriors of the North, which is, I honestly think, is basically a summary of the whole album with some of its strongest riffs. In fact, it could completely be a summary of the band itself, with lyrics go, "We were warriors of the North, notorious and brave. We never lost a battle in war. With fear we feared not the grave." Now overall, Deceiver of the Gods, another solid album in their discography. I'm really looking forward to their new album. I actually reviewed Yams Viking a few years ago, but yeah. If I were to give Deceiver of the Gods a score, I'm going to give this a solid 8.5 out of 10. So yeah, that's my review of Deceiver of the Gods by Amon Amarth, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about it. I'll see you all in the next video, and keep it metal.